Today we're in Proverbs, and if you've been around the church for a while, you've been a Christian for a while, you most likely, if you're a woman, have heard of these verses or read through these verses, as this is one of the main sections of the Bible where it really focuses on women, wives. So this is Proverbs 31, and we're going to start in chapter 10, and we're going to go all the way through to 31. So it's a long one, but stick with me. A wife of noble character who can find. By the way, this is King Lemuel's recollection of what his mother taught him as a child. So this is him kind of quoting his mother. And it says here in the little footnotes of my Bible, which is an NIV, that verses 10 through 31 are all an acrostic, which means it starts with the beginning letter of, and it's actually through the Hebrew alphabet, but each beginning letter of each little section is a successive letter in their alphabet. So I think that's really interesting. So this is most likely something that his mother taught him while he was younger and kind of made it an acrostic so he could remember it. And it may have been a saying at that time. I don't really know. I honestly haven't studied that deep into the Hebrew history of it, but someday I hope that I can do that. But anyway, so we're going to start Proverbs 31, chapter 31, verse 10. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, and her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. I love this portion of Proverbs, and it's the very last section of the very last chapter in Proverbs, and so I think it was placed there, at least in my mind, as this is the last thing in this section and the last thing they wanted to say, and how important that is to us as women, how much, just looking at this, how much work this woman does. Now, it's describing kind of an every woman, like a woman of noble character. It's not specifically describing one woman, but it's describing what we as women should strive to be and what men should look for when choosing a woman, when choosing a wife. And it's what we as women should try to be for our husbands, for our families. And some people will probably say this is sexist, and some people will probably say, well, that's misogynistic or whatever. But I really don't think it is, because I mean, it's all about the woman choosing what to do. She looks over a field that she likes and thinks it's worthwhile, and she buys it, and she makes her own clothes. She makes her own bed linens. She clothes her family. She feeds her family. So this is a very empowered woman. And I think when you hear, at least in the world, you hear a lot about Christianity, a lot of people will say, well, that's, the woman should be subservient to the man and all this. And there is a section that talks about that, and we can go into that another time. But this is really, I think, a really empowering section for women, and how important the woman's role is in the family. And it seems like nowadays and maybe it's just the culture that we live in or whatever, but a lot of women are depressed. And I know I deal with a lot of that, a lot of times where I'm down and I feel like, what's the point of this? All I do is, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I take care of kids and, I could hire a babysitter to do that. And I think a lot of women really struggle with that. And I think in this section, it really shows how important work is, whether you're working in the home or in the home and outside the home, not just to keep you busy, because it says don't do the work of idleness. Don't have idle hands. Don't just do busy work, but actually do work that is meaningful and work that helps someone, help the poor, donate your time, volunteer your time, and just be a woman who is powerful and a woman who will bring honor to herself and to her husband and to her family. And I don't know, I just really love this section. So I wanted to share that with you today. I'm sure you've heard it before, but really study through those verses and think about how important they are and how that can translate to your life. And to know me, I'm someone who I've got to stay busy. I've got to have something to do or I get so down and so depressed. And so it's in my nature. I know I have to keep doing something. And whether it's working on a craft or, painting the hallway or renovating a room or redoing furniture or whatever, I have to be doing something with my hands. And I think that honestly, that was something given to me. I really believe that was something given to me by God to help me deal with the times where I'm down or deal with the times where I don't think what I do is worth anything. And I really do think that He gives me that strength to do it. And I know that He gives me the good feeling that comes after something is done. When I've looked at something that I've completed, whether it's a craft or it's something for the house or planting in the garden, I really do think that He gives us that pride, good pride on the inside to realize what we've accomplished, and to realize how good that is and how good it is for our family, and to be an example for other women and to be an example for our daughters. So anyway, read through this section, read through chapter 31, especially the end, and see where it leads you and see if it inspires you to do something a little different maybe in your life, or to give you some courage to try something new. At least I know that's what it does for me. So I'm praying for you today, and I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon. It's getting ready to rain here, so I'm going to go get some things done before that happens. And so just stay busy, but do work that is going to have a good end result. Don't just do busy work, but do something work toward a goal. Work towards something that you can be proud of and that your family can be proud of. So I hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you later.